Yes, party people, welcome to Groove Conversations with your man Martin G. Hope you're looking after yourself, doing all good things, and you know how it is, just looking after yourself. So you know how it goes down. If you're liking what you see and what you're hearing, click like, share, subscribe. Get on down with Groove Conversations with your man Martin G. So you know what? You've seen the first one, the first vinyl tag of 2026. So men like Spin the Black Circle put out a soul funk vinyl tag. So big up to you, yeah? So this is my chance, yeah, to do another one of these soul funk vinyl tags. I've done one last year and I think it was fairly common and it was good, man, because soul and funk, that's my bag. You know, I love all types of music. But if you're talking soul and funk, then that's like right up my alleyway, man. So you know what? Big up to you, Spin the Black Circle, for putting this one out. And it's a fairly short one. And listen, 12 questions, all revolved around soul funk records. So you know what? I'll put my little 2 bobs worth onto the table about this. So let's see how it goes down. Check it out. Here we go. So the first question is, show your favourite soul funk release from 2025. Now listen, it's a little bit of a cheat code, this one is, because the record actually came out in 2024, but I bought it last year. And that's quite good for me. That is, because I'm a little bit slow on the uptake for when I pick up some records. So this one, it's Jungle. Yeah, I know it got in the charts. I know it's quite popular for that track Back on 74. But listen, there's a lot of good tracks on this. And it's got a nice little soul-y, funky edge to it as well. So listen, don't sleep on this album. Don't sleep on this. Don't get, I think Back on 74 is a good track anyway. But listen, You Ain't No Celebrity, Problems, Pretty Little Thing. Great tracks, man. You know what I mean? This is a consistently fairly good album, this is. So, listen, don't sleep on this. This is Jungle, okay? So that was my contribution of best album I've bought from 2025, when it was actually from 2024. So don't kill me for that. That's just my pick, all right? So the next one is best used find of 2025. So I'm going to go for this one. And this is Little Bob and the Lollipops. Now, this is a reissue, this is. Now, I have to big up one of my mans on here, yeah, DH, that's all I'm going to say. I just got to big him up because, he put out a little post with this on there and I thought, I've got to have this, man. And listen, records, tunes come to me in any way possible and I will find them. And if I can find them, I will get them if I can afford it, that is. And listen, this was priced fairly well. You know, we're not paying right through the nose for this, but you know, it's not a score that you're paying for it. Let's just say that. But listen, this is a good album, but there's a great version of James Brown's Cold Sweat on here. And listen, you know me, love a sucker for a cover version. So listen, when it comes in the form of something that is funky and hard, listen, man, I've got to go for it. So listen, Little Bob and the Lollipops with Sweet Soul Swinger. So, third question. Soul record on 45, which wasn't a hit in our country. So, listen, I've gone for this one. I have gone for I Get Lifted by Casey and the Sunshine Band. Now, listen, so you can see a couple of copies of it, because listen, man, sometimes I like to rate myself as the king of the cut on 2 turntables when really I'm not. But listen, I like to have a little mess around when I'm DJing as well with certain tracks, and this is a beautiful track that you can do that with, and this is just a great track. Forget about trying to do any of the like Qbert prime cut style DJing, but listen, this is a beautiful record, and it weren't really a hit over in the States, but I think it done rather well, you know what I mean? So, but listen, that's a lie. It was a hit in the States, but didn't do that well over here. But listen, doesn't matter. Great record. Casey and the Sunshine Band, I Get Lifted. Okay, right, so the fourth one is a 70s LP produced by a 60s artist. So you know what? I thought I'd go for this one. This is Syl Johnson, Diamond in the Rough. And this was produced by Willie Mitchell. And yes, you know Willie Mitchell, you know that man, you know who he is. And big artist in the 60s. And he was one of the, well, he's the one who actually owns this label, High Records as well. Yeah, so Syl Johnson, Diamond in the Rough, 70s, came out in 1974, produced by Willie Mitchell, soul star from the 60s. Okay, D, go.
I know we've only been friends, it's true, and I've always been fond of you. But strange things are starting to occur. Things are changing from what they were. With each passing, they are mine. You becoming more part of my mind. Could I be falling in love with you? Could I be falling in love with you? Could I be falling in love with you, baby? Could I be falling in love with you?
Question 5. A soul LP from a band from your own country. So, you know what? I tried finding, I was looking for like my Central Line album. I was looking for that and I just couldn't find it, or maybe it passed me by as I was looking for like records. So you know what? As I was looking for it, I thought I'd pull out this one, and it's a bit of a cheat code because you would have been with me when I bought this. Now I can't remember exactly where it was where I bought this, but this is Light of the World remixed. Now they're a group that are from London. They are, I think they're from Northwest London, if I remember, if my mind serves me correctly. But listen, this is a great album. Now I've got one of their 12 inches. They do a version of I Shot the Sheriff, which is also on here as well. But listen, this is a great album. Now you know that there was a big soul, funk, soul or jazz funk movement that come out in the like late 70s, early 80s, yeah, so you had groups like Light of the World, Central Line, Freeze and Co, Southern Freeze, sorry, Beggar and Co, groups like those, Lynx, Imagination as well. So listen, you had a lot of good groups that come out, and good music it was, so don't sleep on that music, man. But listen, Light of the World, listen, this had to be half decent. He got signed by Mercury as well. So listen, Light of the World remix, great album from a band from the UK, okay? Number 6, an LP from a female soul trio. Right, now, you know, you can see one up there. That's a beautiful like, album. That is Estelle Murner and Sylvia, Sweet Inspirations. That's a great album. But I thought I'll go and show you this one. This is Honeycomb with Sweet Replies. Now, this is a great album. This is one of my favourite tracks on there is Are You Man Enough? Are You Strong Enough? Now, when you hear that track, like funnily enough, I played it like I was playing at a record fair a few weeks ago, and I played that record, And it just came back to me what the like subject matter is all about on it. But listen. This is a great album. That's a great song. Honeycomb, Sweet Replies. That's my LP from a female soul trio. Alright? Okay, so question 7. Best soul funk band seen live. Now listen, I'm a hip hop head and I'm a little bit unrefined when it comes to seeing like live groups or live musicians. I mean, I could tell you a lot of like hip hop acts that I've seen. I could tell you a lot of hip hop acts that I haven't seen, but I could tell you a lot of the hip hop acts that I have seen. But when it comes to like seeing actual musicians or big name bands or anything, I've not seen many. But one artist I have seen, which I am very proud to say that I have seen, is this man, James Brown. Now, I saw James Brown back in 1997, and it was so there was a thing that used to go on in the 90s called the Essential Festival, right? Now, I don't know who the guys were that put them together, man, but they were great festivals. So the Essential Festival, a lot of the time they used to happen down in Sussex, down in Brighton, but this one year they done one up in Finsbury Park, and it was I'm sure it was 1997 that they done it, because the year before they done it in Brighton, and I remember seeing Ice-T. I did that one, but this one, this was a good one. This was, so it's like, so what the Essential Festivals were was like they'll have like 3 days of gigs, and it would all be different genres. So like one day it would be like rock music, another day it would be dance music, then another day it would be like black music or urban as they like to call it now, right? So on this particular day, on Sunday, they had I remember they had hip hop acts such as Schoolie D, Kool Keith was playing there as well. Kool Keith from Ultimagnetic MCs. Mobb Deep were also there as well, which was quite a sad thing. I never got to see them because James Brown was playing there. James Brown was playing. He was like one of the like main acts. He was, and the sad thing was that when James Brown were on, Mobb Deep on, and you got to think Mobb Deep, they were hot because they had that album, the infamous album. So like tracks like the Shook Ones and, you know, Just Give Up the Goods and Survival of the Fittest, all that kind of stuff. And the sad thing is like I missed out on that. But I wanted to see James Brown, and I just thought to myself, you know what, man, James Brown is in the twilight of his years, right? I might not ever get a chance to see him again. And Mobb Deep, you know what, I'd have a better chance of seeing them again. Unfortunately, I never got to see Mobb Deep ever again play live. But look, listen, I'm going on a bit. James Brown, I saw him live. And yeah, of course, he's not moving the same way like he was in the 50s, 60s or 70s. But listen, it's James Brown. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I heard him do Please, Please, Please. I can't moan about that. Get up off your thing. Listen, James Brown, the late, great James Brown, I managed to see him, and he is one of my favourite artists of all time as well. So, listen, there. All right? Question 8. I'm friends with a rock supremacist. What soul funk LP do I play him to try and convert him from that? Now, well, you know what, man? Like, I mean, I like rock music as it is anyway, so I don't mind that. But listen, what do I use to try and convert someone to like soul and funk music? So you know what? I thought I'll start with an artist that, you know, he's well respected, well revered. So I thought I'd start with Marvin Gaye. And you know what? I'm not going to use something that everyone would use of his, like What's Going On, which is a outstanding album, of course. Yeah, one of the greatest albums of all time in any genre, I would say. But I thought for Marvin Gaye, I'd go for something a little bit different, because maybe I might be able to like show him the film as well if I had a chance. So I'll go for this, Trouble Man. This is the like one that I would. And listen, so this is a soundtrack to a film called Trouble Man that came out. Now, you know, it's got an appearance by a guy called Ralph Waite, who's in the Waltons as well. Julius Harris also pops up in Black Caesar, and Paul Winfield, who played the starring role in Gordon's War. Okay, so listen, this is a great album. The music on here is really good. The main theme, T plays it, called theme from Trouble Man, like the main theme from Trouble Man, deep in it. Don't mess with Mr. T. Listen, there is enough records on here, enough tunes on here that sound real good. So any rock supremacist friend I've got that I'm trying to convert to soul and funk, I'll give him some of this. Trouble Man by Marvin Gaye. That's what it is, yeah? Hopefully you'll watch this and think, what's the film saying? Let's have a look at the film, all right? Question 9. A Soul 12-inch from the 80s, right? So, listen, being the excessive kind of person that I am, I thought, you know what? So, I'm a DJ, as I've told you many a times, and I have a lot of 12 inches, Soul 12 inches. So, I thought I'll just pick out 3 and see what you think of these. So, first one, I thought I'll show you, 12 inches from the 80s, that's what it is. So, it's a 12-inch, Soul 12-inch from the 80s. So I thought I'll show you 3. So listen, the first one I'm going to go with is Time by Stone. I dedicate this to my brother Gary, yeah? Dedicate this to you because, now, my brother Gary, you know, like, he's a big influence when it comes to like my music, yeah? Very big influence. So he was into that jazz funk movement. He used to go to Soul Weekenders and everything. And obviously he's a few years older than me. But like, he introduced me to this record, right? And you know, one of the nicest moments I did have with him is that he come down and see me DJ a little while back. I've pulled this out and he's like, I've never seen it on this like cover before. This is an original US pressing, this is. So anyway, Stone, Time, that is, yeah? Time by Stone, shall I say. There's that one. I'll also show you Tina Marie, Behind the Groove. Okay, enough said on that one. Last but not least, Atomic Dog, George Clinton. This track, now when I play out, this track gets people on the floor, or keeps people on the floor, or gets them rocking on the dance floor. This is a wicked, wicked track. And because it's a 12-inch, you've got an extended version. That's just over 9 minutes. So listen, you can't go wrong with this. Atomic Dog by George Clinton. Okay? And, right, nice little segue into the next question. Show a funk LP with a track lasting over 8 minutes. So, Funkadelic, ironically enough. So the track that I'm talking about on here, well, there's 3 tracks on here that go over 8 minutes, yeah? Good old music and what is soul. But listen, the track on here is Mummy, What's a Funkadelic? This is just, I'd love to know what these guys were on when they were making this, because this album is just, this album's just like craziness. This is just a wicked album. This is sampled by so many artists, people such as Ice-T, Kool G Rap have sampled this. But listen, this album, Mummy, What's a Funkadelic by Funkadelic, first album, self-titled album, okay?
If you will suck my soul, I will lick your funky emotions. Hey, hey, hey.
question 11. An LP to get you in the mood for romance. Okay, listen, without sounding crude or anything, man, right? Listen, when the moment comes and I'm feeling that kind of moment, you can play Welcome to the Terror Dome by Public Enemy and I'm still gonna like. You know what I'm saying? But listen, if I wanted to seduce a woman, well, I have my lady. I don't need to seduce my lady. Well, if I ever wanted to try and do something on a different tip. But listen, this is the record that you're going to use to get you in the mood. Brighter Side of Darkness by Love Jones. Now, the only reason I'm laughing about this is because there's a story that I could tell you to do with like me and my girlfriend. I've been with my girlfriend like a good part of 5 years, and there's a story I could tell you about. I'm not going to tell you about that story. But listen, this album, I actually bought this a few years back in Amsterdam when I was out there with my girlfriend, and I remember going into a record shop. I think it was Waxwell Records. Anyone who knows, you got to go to Amsterdam and do some digging over there, man. It's got some crazy record stores, man. Anyway, I digress. So I went into this one record shop and I remember seeing this album. And listen, you know how it is. You see an album, you see a cover, and it's got something interesting about it. Give it a listen, check it out. Which is what I did. Saw the cover, thought, four brothers dressed like that. Got to be something about that. So I had a little listen to it, man. And I just thought, listen, this is Baby making music without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, you make babies to this. But this is a great album. Nice, smooth soul ballads. And listen, if you are weak in the art of seduction when it comes to trying to woo that special person in your life, these are the kind of tunes you need. And you don't know, come and see me and I'll tell you all, right? Love Jones, Brighter Side of Darkness.
What's happening, baby? Did you miss me over the weekend? If you did, I'm sorry. But now that I'm here, I don't want to bore you with a long, irrelevant conversation. But you see, Doc, I think it's about time for me to get real serious about you. Because if someone was to rip me off of you, I couldn't account for my actions afterwards. And the way I feel, knowing that you should have been mine all the time. But you see, I not only want you, baby, but I need you. And the need is so strong, it's almost like that of a junkie. In other words, baby, I just got to have you. Listen to me, darling. Please, listen to me.
That's the record that you need to get you into the mood for romance, okay? And last but not least, the greatest soul funk LP of all time. Listen, that's a little bit of a misnomer. Like, you know, I can't really say what's the best LP, soul funk LP of all time, because it is so much good. There's so many good like records out there. If you're talking about LPs, some LPs may only have a few records on there, a few tunes on there that are really good. But listen, I thought I'll pick one that has got a lot of good tracks on there, and maybe the story behind it as well, I think is quite is quite poignant as well. So I'm gonna pick this album. So this is called East of Underground. Okay, now this is a reissue that came out in, I think it was 2007, this album came out. Yes, it was. It was issued by Wax Poetic Records, this was. But listen, there is an original copy that you can get of this. And listen, the original copies of this cost big bucks. So I ain't even got that kind of money to try and get an original copy. But listen, if you can get this, this is a really good album. And let me just give you the story about this. So what this is that this is an album that was put together by the winners of a Battle of the Bands contest that was held by American veterans, that was or American soldiers that were fighting in the Vietnam War. Okay, so there was a big Battle of the Bands, and then the winners got to record on a studio that was out over in Germany at the time. So there's some great records on here. I mean, like, you know, you've got like a lot of the tracks on there are versions that they've got on here, but you know, they've got some really good tracks. Like they've got Higher, which is their version of the Sly and the Family Stone track. You've got their versions of Hell Below and People Get Ready, Getting Over, Bet You Never Lose Your Love, yeah, which is a Funkadelic track, and California Dreamer as well. But my track on here is they do a version of Smiling Faces on here, which is, I think, better than the original version of it, even though the original version is a great song.
Smiling faces sometimes pretend to be your friend. Smiling faces show no traces of the evil that lurks within. Smiling faces sometimes they don't tell the truth. You tell it. Smiling faces tell lies, and I got
But listen, this album, if you want to know a really good album, I mean, it's your opinion to whether you say it's the best album of all time, but listen, maybe it's because of the story behind it, is why I thought I'll put it on this one. But listen, East of Underground, one of the greatest funk soul LPs of all time, all right? And that is that for the Soul Vinyl Tag on 2026. Tell me in the comments, what do you think? Do you know about any of those records? Do you have any of those records? Do you want to go out and buy any of those records? Have you heard any of them? Call me up on some of the artists that I mentioned and tell me about some of the other releases that they've done. I've mentioned about who sampled whatever. You might want to tell me some artists that have sampled something that's on there. So, but listen, I'd love to hear your comments. Give me your comments, man. And again, I just want to say big shout out to everyone who's given me comments on my last videos, because listen, man, it's all love, man. I appreciate it. So listen, if you're liking what you see, click like, share, subscribe, get on down with Groove Conversations with your man Martin G. So until next time, I say peace, one love, and I'll see you on the other side. See ya.